Hi everybody, how's it going? Have you ever heard of the term fear of success? And it's left you thinking, what? Fear of failure? I get, but fear of success? Well, if you have, stick around, I'm going to talk about that today. Hi, my name's Cams, I'm an alcoholic. Welcome to my channel. Yes, fear of success. It's an interesting concept, and it's something that's been on my mind quite a lot this week. Let me tell you why. This week I have been studying with my business coach, Hassan Kuba. I met Hassan at the beginning of Ali Abdal's part-time YouTuber Academy in November 2020. Hassan ran the power hours every morning at 8 AM and every afternoon at 2 PM. And in the first one, he introduced himself as an author. He said, I've written a book called The Unfair Advantage. So I checked it out and I thought, I'll take a look at that. And I did. And I read the introduction, and long story short, my YouTube channel became about recovery. I did not know that that was going to happen. And as I read the introduction to his book, I started to ponder what my unfair advantage might be. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. Sobriety, recovery. I have something that's not that easy to get. And I want to share that with other people because I want to help other people to find their sobriety. So, having made that discovery, I began to make more and more content about my niche, to tell my story. And when I got to the end of the part-time YouTuber Academy, it came to me that this could be something that I could start to do. I could become a coach. This is where the fear of success comes into it. During the course, I was getting feedback from a lot of my fellow pupils in the course to say that they enjoyed listening to my stories, they enjoyed my content, they enjoyed my voice, they thought that my content was valuable and could help other people. So when it got to the end of the course, Hassan put out a webinar. He announced that he was going to do a webinar with his co-author Ash Ali, where he basically introduced his own coaching program. And I got excited. I thought this is something that could really change the game for me. It was a lot of money, and I was like, I'm not sure how I can justify this. And I'm not going to lie, it caused a little bit of tension in the household because I had just spent a lot of money doing a YouTube course, thinking that building a channel was going to be my path to freedom. I don't know. And so when I ran it by my wife, she was like, what? You're going to be spending more money on another course? I thought that course that you just did was going to be the one. So we talked about it and we came to the conclusion that this was something that we should make happen. And we did. And so I'm now 4 weeks into the coaching. And one of the things that's come to light is this idea of fear of success. So let me give you an anecdote about another time when I was fearful of success. I've been playing music for years. I'm a guitar player. That's my passion, my hobby, my duck, if you want to quote John Roderick, which I do because I love John Roderick. There was a time when I was feeling particularly enthusiastic and excited about the summer and about getting more gigs around the island, and I sent letters out to the hotels and the restaurants to let them know that I was available for the summer. Here are my rates. If you want to book me, here's a link to some of the stuff I've put out there so you get an idea for what I can do. And as soon as I sent the letters and the emails, I was like, what have I done? What have I done? That idea that they might actually follow up and book me gave me the fear. Now, I know I'm a good guitar player. I know I'm good on stage, I have good presence, I have good sound, I've got all the equipment that I need, I'm experienced, I have a great band if you want to book me with a band. I can do what I am selling myself as being able to do, but I still had that fear. Now this is not really imposter syndrome, I don't think, because I know in my heart of hearts that I can do it. So the only thing I can think of is that this is fear of success. And this is what I'm facing now. I've come out of that part-time YouTuber Academy course with a belief, a conviction, an excitement that coaching is something I want to do. It's something I think I will be good at. It's something I am more than qualified for. I've come through 15 years of getting sober and staying sober, so I know how to do that. I have built and failed at many businesses. I have succeeded in many businesses. I have raised a family. I have kept my marriage together. I have a lot of things that I think are valuable to share with other people. And so what's holding me back? Well, a couple of days ago, when Hassan reached out to me and said, "How are you?" I thought, I'm not going to lie to him. I'm going to tell him I'm not doing so well. So I just said, "Not great, TBH," because I've learned how the millennials talk, right? TBH. And he responded immediately with a Zoom link. He said, "Let's jump on a call. Let's talk about this." And I was like, "No, Hassan, I don't feel like having a call." But as they say in Alcoholics Anonymous, when you feel like you don't have time for a meeting, when you're too busy, that's the time you need to get to a meeting. And it was the same thing here. Hassan reached out. I didn't want to talk to him, and I thought, this is what a coach is for. I should talk to Hassan. So I did. And he coached me through talking out my fears, analysing what was making me feel the way that I was, and then going through some ideas about what I could do about it. That involved reaching out to some people from my newsletter. It involved putting out a link in the Slack group that we use to communicate with the other coachees, letting people know that I was available to jump on a half-hour coaching call with them and see if I could help them through their difficulties and to analyse their goals. So I did it. Yep, it wasn't easy, but I did it. And when I got up the next morning, I woke up to 4 booked coaching calls on my calendar, which are about to happen very soon. And yes, I am apprehensive, I'm nervous, but I'm confident. And this is the thing I'm trying to lean into. I know that I am able to do this. It's just like having a gig on the calendar. Whenever I have a gig day, I wake up in the morning and the first thing that comes into my head is, it's gig day. And so that kind of gives me a little bit of an increase in my baseline anxiety levels for the day. But I've come to learn that that's not a bad thing. If I were to go out on stage without any nerves, without any anxiety, I think I would probably not perform as well. And I think I would be in danger of appearing arrogant. And humility is important. Humility is a massive part of keeping sobriety. I think if I didn't feel that sense of anxiety, and let's face it, excitement, it is a feeling of excitement because playing music in front of people is exciting. I wouldn't do it if it weren't. I really enjoy it. I love that feeling of coming off stage after a gig and having played a really good set, having entertained the audience, in some cases even if that's just 2 or 3 people, which can happen in a restaurant on an island.
I won't leave you. I worried about it all night long. And I got out of bed this morning. You were already gone.
It feels great, you know, and so I think that coaching is going to feel the same way. I just have to start doing it. And that's something that Hassan said to me, which I've heard from other people as well. You are what you do. So at the moment, I'm not a coach because I'm not coaching. But as of a couple of days' time, that's going to change. I'm going to be able to tell people, I'm a coach. I'm a recovery coach. I can help you. And if you would like to book me, then you can do so. And that's going to feel great. It's just that fear of success that's tripping me up. So I'm sure there might be times in your life when you felt fear of success. If you have, drop them in the comments. Let me know. I would love to hear from you. And this is a good thing for me going into my own recovery, because recovery is not a thing that you hit the destination and you're done. Recovery is a thing Like alcoholism, it's a progressive thing. Your serenity gets better and better and better. And this is one way for me to align my actions towards my values. And that's what I think I can bring into the coaching. I can help you to define your values and how to align your life towards those values. So that's me for today. Thank you for watching, and remember, you're not alone.